I don't understand. I don't get how she's able to do all that.
Because she had access to everything.
No, I know. How did that access not go as soon as you guys started having problems and knowing that you're headed to divorce for 6 months?
This is the plaintiff, Maisha Logan. She says the defendant is her ex-husband, and he stole grant money she received to go to nursing school. That's right, the stubborn guy refuses to give her the $474.20 he owes her, and she's here to prove her case to the judge so she can get her money. This is the defendant, Terrence Logan. He says the money that was directly deposited into his account was a refund for tuition money he already paid for the plaintiff's nursing school, so why should she get it? The plaintiff has some nerve coming after him for this money because it's rightfully his. He's accused of distressing an ex.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Ms. Logan, Mr. Logan, how long were you married?
3 years.
And when was your divorce final?
In July of 2018.
And when did you separate?
Well, we separated in January of 2018, but I remained in the home until July.
Okay, I got you. So after the divorce was final is when you moved out?
Yes.
All right, so now you have, sometime during the marriage, you decided to go to nursing school.
Correct.
Tell me about it.
So I had been working in the casino for almost 19 years, and I started getting sick. The cigarette smoke was giving me respiratory infections, and it really started wearing on me. And so Terrence talked to me about going to nursing school, and so I quit my job, and then I started nursing school in May of 2017.
Okay. And while you were married, he was making the payments for nursing school,
correct?
Right? Okay. Then you get a divorce, and what happens?
While he was paying, I wasn't eligible for any financial aid. Once we got the divorce, I became eligible for financial aid.
So you applied for financial aid?
Yes.
And what happens?
They gave me a grant, and in October...
Of what year?
Of 2018. They said that they gave me a grant, and I'm like, okay.
Do you have the paperwork for the grant?
Yes.
Let me see it. Now, unfortunately, you had not updated your banking information with the school, correct? So what they did was they deposited said grant into an account. Did you guys still have an account together, or just...
No.
They deposited your grant into an account that he had?
It was his debit card, because he had been paying with his debit card.
Oh, and did you come to them and tell them, reverse this?
You're welcome.
You guys sent it to my ex.
Yes.
And what'd they say? Can't do it, get it from your ex.
Exactly.
Good luck.
They said there's nothing they could do about it. I had to get it from him.
All right, so that money went to you, correct?
Yes.
In October, after you two divorced.
Yes.
How do you figure you don't have to pay that back?
Now, one, that wasn't told to me. It didn't even go into my bank account. It went into a credit card because I was paying on her school.
Was it a debit card or a credit card?
No, it was a credit card.
A credit card, okay.
She went through her lawyer, and her lawyer asked me to look into it.
And then
what I told her, it's a busy time for me. And so when I get enough time, I'll start looking into it.
And
but
then
I did send her payments. I sent her $900 one, and then I sent her $400.
Oh, so you looked into it and you realized the
I didn't even look into it yet because
What was the point of the $900? To pay her back, right?
Right.
Right. So you paid her.
One for.
Well, the total of the payments, there's no dispute, is $1,350, correct?
Right. Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. And then you stopped.
Yes.
And that's what the subject of the lawsuit is. The rest of the money. Why did you stop?
She left. She took a lot of money out of my account. She took.
You mean in the divorce?
Well, it was toward the end.
What do you mean toward the end? There's a divorce decree that's final on 7/18. Right. You still had joint bank accounts after that?
No.
Right.
In the process,
so you're talking about stuff that happened.
Right.
There's no in the process. My question is it before or after? The divorce decree's final 7/18. The stuff you're going to tell me about is stuff that happened before 7/18, correct?
No, it was after, because she moved out, and when she moved out, there was a lot of damage to my house.
Okay, so one is damage in the move out.
Yes.
Okay. Another is stole my bank accounts. What is that about?
She went into and took all my points out of my
bank account or points?
Well, my points and bank account. She charged up like my Verizon. She bought a new phone. She bought some other stuff. They almost came
I don't
to
understand. I don't get how she's able to do all that.
Because she had access to everything.
No, I know. How did that access not go as soon as you guys started having problems and knowing that you're headed to divorce for 6 months?
I didn't. I didn't. And I didn't.
Because you forgot, or you were hoping it would patch up?
A little bit of both.
I got the answer.
A little bit of both.
From the hesitation. All right. So according to you, she runs out and buys a phone when?
Somewhere around April.
Okay, but your divorce wasn't final. She was still living in the house, and you knew April, May, June, and July that she had done that. And what did you do about that? Go to the police? I don't think so.
No.
And when you signed the divorce decree, one of the things that the divorce decree says is any problems or any liabilities back and forth are hereby extinguished today by virtue of this agreement. So you can't go back and relitigate things like that. When did the points happen, according to you?
Same around that same time.
Right, that's before the divorce decree. You can't relitigate that. And when, by the way, do you want to defend yourself on any of that? Did you steal a bunch of points?
That was, yes, I did. But that was in relation to him getting the house refinanced that he didn't give me half for. So it balanced out, and this was all taken care of in the divorce.
Okay. And now the only thing that is a legitimate thing to discuss is anything that happens after the divorce decree, which is the move out. So you say, she wrecked my place, which doesn't sound believable, because why are you writing $1,350 in checks to her if she wrecked your place before you wrote the checks? But let's see the pictures of the wrecked place. What is this, debris?
That's the living room for carpet.
Okay, somebody drops their dental picks on the floor. That's disgusting. Someone had to clean. She left the garbage there. Is that what you're talking about? Did she damage anything?
It goes in that to how she did the kitchen, the living room. Just
okay, so now my question to you is there any actual damage besides debris left, in the garbage cans or on the rug?
It was stains. We had just bought a $3,500 couch. It's stains. You see the pictures on that.
And do you have evidence that she stained them?
Well, it was in the move out.
How did it get stained in the move out?
I don't know. I tried to be away from the house so I wouldn't, affect the kids.
Yeah.
And when
do you guys have kids together?
No.
No.
Yeah, the place is a mess. Did you leave it like that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
Okay, because as we were leaving, it had gotten so bad there, and I got a call from school from my daughter. I had ordered something, it came in the mail. She was trying to hide it from him. I had to leave school, come home. I found her locked in my room, holding a knife in the bathroom because he was yelling at her. It had gotten nasty. It just got so nasty. When I left, I left. It wasn't like I punched holes in the walls or did anything malicious. I just didn't clean up after myself. And then he started saying, even like the couch he's referring to, that couch was bought when we bought the home 3 years ago. So it's like, I'm not understanding.
Why did you guys split up? What was the cause of the
his
break?
mother.
Well, that was very, very pointed and succinct.
No.
Because you feel what?
He should have been married to her.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, does this guy owe her money for the tuition? Does he have to pay her tuition?
Yes, he does.
Because?
Because he took her grant money, and if you're going to pay it back, then you need to pay it back. I mean, you actually stole from her, so once you started that, you need to finish it.
The fact that he started paying some of that money, does that show he felt he was obligated to pay her, to pay it?
Yeah, when he started to pay for her, I think that's showing like that he...
A consciousness that you owe.
Yeah.
Got your point, going inside the courtroom.
His mother is in control of the way he blinks, smells, looks, tastes, talks, and she had an issue with me and my kids. It got to a point where she was like, why are you spending time with those kids? Well, why did you get her something on Valentine's Day and not me? I mean, it was ugly. And when we got a divorce, he emailed me to tell me he wanted a divorce and said, if you can't love my mom like you love me, we don't need to be married. Who does that?
Well, it's complicated. I am impressed by his love for his mother, and if I was with somebody who hated my mother, I would find it to be very difficult. So I am sure that there are many complications. Okay. Yeah, I do want to hear.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you want to say something.
She left out a whole lot. For one, she had my credit cards until April because I went to get a hotel because my youngest daughter was turning 21. And I had no points. This is almost 1 million points.
1 million?
Yes.
How'd you spend 1 million points?
I didn't. Oh my goodness, if he's not perjuring himself, I don't know who is. I did not spend 1 million.
How many points did you spend?
It was like 300,000. But here's the thing.
She says that like it's nothing.
No.
Wait, and how did you spend it? You didn't spend it on travel. You had it on...
No, I spent it to get ready for my move. But here's the thing. It was about $6,000 in cash, but that had nothing to do with the $7,000 he was supposed to give me when he refinanced the house behind my back. So he's not appalled about what he did, just what I did.
Okay, all right.
Now, according to in the divorce paperwork, the house was refinanced. They went over everything I spent. What I spent was to pay off the debt she incurred through her spending sprees. Okay. I didn't get anything out of it.
Everybody thought that all this stuff was hammered out by your signatures on a divorce decree. And yet both of you are bringing up this stuff. There can be, I wanted to hear it because I'm nosy as can be. And I also have this delusional opinion of my ability to bring peace to people. But that ain't gonna happen. So let's just get this over with. No. You don't need to get along. You don't have children in common. You're probably not going to have any more contact with each other. The best evidence of whether this money should be paid is the fact that you were paying it. The fact that you then decided not to doesn't mean you can keep it. Your complaints, most of them happened before the decree. So by virtue of the divorce decree, you can't even bring the ones that happened beforehand. The only thing you could bring up was how she left the place. She did not damage anything. Yes, she left garbage lying around. That no sooner amounts to $474.20 than you think it did when you wrote checks for $1,350. Because those checks were written well after she'd left the place dirty. No, stop. No, I don't want to hear anything else. It's not going to help. It can only hurt further. So I am ordering you to pay her the remaining $474.20 plus, of course, your court costs. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, in this case of Logan versus Logan, it's Mr. Logan who comes out on the bottom end of the case today. What are you thinking?
Then it's just typical.
Typical. What'd you do to get all the 1 million points on your car?
I travel weekly.
You do?
Yeah.
A lot of time on the road.
Yes.
Well, is this going to end this dispute between the two of you now that the court suit's over?
No dispute for me. I haven't talked to her in 1.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then I guess it is over for sure.
Been over.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
No problem.
You've signed some documents. All right, Ms. Logan.
Hello.
Hello. You're smiling.
I am. I'm happy.
And you haven't talked to him in like 1.5 years?
No, I have not. There's no reason to. I just wanted my money. So justice was served.
Well, good.
Yes, happy to be here.
Are you still in school for nursing?
Yes, I am. I have one more semester left.
One more to go?
Yes, and I will be a nurse.
Okay. Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All righty. Harvey?
You know, when you do a property settlement as part of a divorce, the more detailed, the better. Account for every possible thing you can. And I hate to say it this way, but don't always just automatically trust your lawyer. You know what you have more than the lawyer. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Mark Alford, against Anelli. He says he saw the defendant crash into his parked 2017 Lexus. By the time he walked to the parking lot, the defendant bolted from the scene, so he called the cops. Once his insurance contacted the defendant, she denied ever being there. After getting fed up with the insurance company runaround, he decided to sue this lady on his own and is seeking the $2,374.33 he needs to repair his car. This is the defendant, Nabria Shanti Sloan. She says the plaintiff's claiming her blue Chevy bumped into his Lexus, and she said she had no idea what this guy was talking about because she doesn't drive a blue Chevy. If she'd been in an accident, she would have owned up to it. She has insurance, and her husband makes good money, so she has no motive to hit and run. Bottom line, this is a case of mistaken identity, and she owes nothing. She's accused of crashing and dashing.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant crashed into his parked 2017 Lexus, but she insists that she doesn't drive a blue Chevy, so she can't be the culprit. It's the case of, I did not drive my Chevy to the levee.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, so you do volunteer work at a medical center, correct?
Yes.
All right, so sometime in July this last summer, what happened?
On July 3rd at approximately 10 a.m., our facility opened its doors to accept clients. At about 10 after 10, the defendant walked into the facility, approached the director who was seated right behind me, and asked about an upcoming appointment. The director asked the defendant for her name. She did. The defendant gave her name, and then the director looked up all the information that needed about an upcoming appointment. The defendant then left the facility to go to her car. My office faces the parking lot. My desk faces the parking lot, a completely unobstructed view. I watched her walk across the parking lot, and the parking lot is very small. It only has 11 spaces. So we just opened up. There was only 3 cars in the parking lot. My car, the defendant's car, and another volunteer's car. I went back to work, and then I heard this loud, sudden crash. I look up, and I see a tan Pontiac had backed right into my Lexus. And I was shocked. I stood up to talk to the person, and without hesitation, she accelerated the car and flew out of that parking lot at a high rate of speed. I mean, I tried to run after her, and it was very intentional.
Describe the car for me.
It was a tan Pontiac is all I could see. I mean, now I have more information about it, but it was definitely a tan Pontiac. No, 100.
Is that what you told the insurance company?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you ever tell them it was a blue Ford?
No.
Did you ever tell them it was a blue anything?
No, I didn't. I never
Did
saw
you
it.
ever give a different color?
No.
Were you there that day?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
You weren't there at all?
No, I have records of when I went. I only went twice. And I went up there to get my information of when the last times I was there, and she pulled up my record, so.
What day do you go in to find out when your appointment is?
July 8th. It was on the 8th.
That's the day of her appointment, Your Honor.
Do you have your records?
Yes.
May I see them?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
I don't know when you walked in there, but there wouldn't be a record of it because you're only walking in to find out when your appointment is.
Right, but
So it wouldn't be July 8th when you're walking in to find out when your appointment is, because on July 8th they're writing out an ultrasound.
But every time you go in, you have to sign like this.
Then show me that. Show me signed-in records that show your name of when you came in.
That's
all right, so what's he talking about here? Do you have any idea what he's talking about?
No, actually, July 3rd, I didn't even know I was pregnant. I found out I was pregnant on the, like a couple of days later. July 3rd, I wasn't even there at the center, but when I first arrived, my husband had dropped me off. And the parking lot, he said it was only 3 people in the parking lot. This parking lot is full. It was a lot of people in the parking lot. So I'm not finna park all the way down there and then walk all the way back up here. So he dropped me off in the front and he went back to park and then he walked back up with me. And he said that I hit his car so hard and so loud and fled the scene. For one, I had insurance on my car. And I had my daughter in the car, safety first. I don't care if it was my fault or whoever's fault it was. If I would have hit someone's vehicle, I would have stopped to make sure my baby was okay, for one. And for two, I would have noticed that I hit somebody's car because the crash would have been loud enough for me to be like, oh, snap, let me stop. I hit somebody's car. And I have pictures of the parking lot.
Who was driving?
I was driving when we left. My husband was driving when we pulled up.
I'm going to show you a picture of the parking lot. According to you, go ahead and go over there. Go ahead and show me with your finger what you say it did.
Well, there's my view right clearly. I have a window right there. When I heard the crash, I saw the tan Pontiac impacted my car. That's the first time I saw it was right here. And then When I stood up, I heard the high acceleration of the vehicle, and she left so rapidly out of this way.
All right, go ahead and go back. Now, according to you, he contacts your insurance company.
Yes.
What did the insurance company say to you?
Well, they started giving me, first thing they said was, we do not show her vehicle as tan. The police report verifies that she has a registered tan Pontiac, and I saw a tan Pontiac.
According to you, he told your insurance company it was a blue Ford?
Yes.
Do you have any evidence of that?
My husband, he was when they called, because they kept calling me, and I'm like,
do you have any paperwork to show me from your insurance company? Any of the
No,
adjusters?
his insurance they just called me.
Apparently, he goes to your house and takes pictures of your vehicle. Your vehicle's tan.
Right, but no, my vehicle is tan, but that's not what his insurance company was saying when they called me.
Okay, you're going to have to prove that. If I give you a recess...
I can't prove it, so I'm
yeah,
just
see,
not
that's
speak on
critical because that's huge.
Right.
If he's going around saying it's a blue car, he didn't see anything.
Right.
And he's just guessing who
But
hit it.
if he see my vehicle...
But if he says it's the lady who just walked in to find out when her appointment was, and we know you went there to find out when your appointment was, and if he says, I heard the crash and I looked and she was still connected to my car and it's a tan Pontiac, and in fact you drive a tan Pontiac, he starts to not sound like he's making it up, right?
Well, it's fine. I'll give him that.
Who gave you her home address? How did you get it, I mean?
It was in the police report.
All right, and then you went by that home, correct?
Yes.
And you took some photographs?
Yes.
Okay.
My insurance agent suggested it was a good idea. And if you'll notice, the damage matches perfectly. Just want to give you an idea. Okay, now there's her vehicle.
That's her vehicle?
Yeah, and I circled, if you notice the black smudge on her bumper, I have black smudge on my car. And that matches perfectly.
Is this your car?
Yeah, that's my car, the white one. And you'll
Is
notice, that
the spot you park in?
Yes, that's ironic.
And here is the damage to your car?
Yes, if you zoom in, you can see the black smudge. I took other pictures that were closer. That's my view right there. That's what I saw.
Right. Is this from your window?
Yes, and that's the black smudge.
Can I see the repair estimate?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about what we know and what we don't know.
So he identifies the car, says he saw her do it, and she was in the area. Is that enough proof for him to win?
Seems like a lot of coincidences.
It does indeed. Is it enough proof for him to win?
Does he have any other witnesses?
Nope. It was just him, but he says, I'm an eyewitness. I saw it.
So it's her word against his word?
Her word against his, but he identified the car, and she was there. Get back to me.
No.
That's not enough?
No. No. How could you prove that he actually saw her? It's his word against.
Yeah, but that's the case with any eyewitness, right?
He's the witness for himself?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Going inside the courtroom.
We know that something hit his car that morning.
Mm-hmm.
We know that because he immediately calls the police. We know that the something that hit his car is someone who was there between 10 when it opens and 10:28 when he places the call to the police officer.
Okay.
We know you were there. We know you were there because he happens to know that it was a day when you were walking in there to ask about when your appointment was. We know you say, no, the day I walked in to ask what my appointment was July 8th, but I know that's not true because that's a day where they were already writing scripts out for you. So I know that's not accurate. Your appointment was actually July 8th. So I know you were there beforehand. We know that he knows who it is because he's sitting there and he knows the one person who's been there. You know, this isn't a criminal case. You didn't get charged with leaving the scene of an accident, which is a crime, okay? It's a civil case where he has to prove that it is more likely than not. That's all he's got to prove. I'm asking you, if not you, then who? He's looking right out the window. That's where it is. He immediately calls the police. We know you were in there that day, and lo and behold, you drive a tan Pontiac. The damage on the corner of your car, it wasn't like a crash that would kill somebody, but it was a bump, and that cost money on a 2017 Lexus.
Okay.
It cost some cash. When you tell me my husband has a good job and I don't need to do that, I'm fully insured. Yeah, no one who leaves the scene of an accident necessarily has to, but when they do, they got to pay up. And there's a motive to do that, which is I don't feel like being in trouble paying a $500 deductible or whatever else people do.
But I didn't know I hit his car because I would have stopped because, like I said, I had my baby.
Maybe that's accurate. Maybe that's accurate.
And
maybe
if
you
I
didn't
would've
know.
drove off-
But I'm pretty sure you hit his car. Let's
okay,
assume.
well, $2,000 worth of damages from backing out like that.
Do you hear me talking?
I hear you. Do you hear me? That don't seem like $2,000 worth of damages backing out like that. I
Really?
didn't. You can't even back out that parking lot that fast to hit this man's car and cause $2,300 and something worth of damages.
Now you sound like you hit and run.
Okay, well, I know what I did and I didn't do.
Even if we take away the tan Pontiac part, he's literally watching the car that just left. This is an office that's this big. And he immediately, this is not like he walked out at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and then looked for somebody to pin it on because he noticed damage to his car. I know this because I know when he called the police, it's right on the police report. It's 1028. All right? I find that it is more likely than not you. I find that the damage to the vehicle is a reasonable damage. And I find that you need to pay him $2,374.33.
Okay. Good luck.
Well, and what's a fascinating case, Ms. Sloan, the defendant, the judge says she is convinced you did it, then you're going to have to pay for it.
I'm not paying for anything, baby boy. You're crazy.
What do you mean?
I'm not paying for anything, baby boy. You're crazy. Do you not understand? Because I didn't hit his car. Like, why would you come by my house? Do you know if I would have had something and you would have been in my yard, it would have went a whole lot differently. I didn't give you permission to come up in my yard. I'm ready to go. Like, now, please.
Well, you got a judgment against you for
$2,300.
$2,300.
Right, cool. Well, good luck getting it. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
I'm not scared.
Good luck with you then.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, Mr. Agostinelli, that's one of the issues in a small claims court. You may have to keep chasing her to get the money.
Well, that was one of my concerns. I knew I was 100% accurate in what I saw, and 100% certain she was there and she did it. And I did not go on her property to take her vehicle, take pictures of her vehicle. I was across the street and zoomed in on, got all the damage. Her damage matched my damage perfectly.
You really played detective here.
Well, I had to. I knew I had to do my homework, or it was just my word against hers.
Well, good for you. All right. Good luck. I hope you can. You got the judgment now. You got the power to go get the money from her. Okay. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Harvey?
You know, I got to say, take pictures as soon as there is an impact, even through the window. That will make your case. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Sakina Campbell. She says the defendant lives above her, and when his toilet leaked, it flooded her apartment. She now has $1,900 worth of damage caused by the defendant's negligence. He refuses to reimburse her for the repairs, and she's suing him here and now to get the money. This is the defendant, Stephen Weinstein. He admits he had a leak, and he sent his contractor down to look at the plaintiff's damage. The contractor said he'd make the repairs for $475, and there's no way he's going to allow this woman to gouge him out of $1,900. He's accused of a potty problem.
All parties, please hit your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says her upstairs neighbor flushed his toilet and flooded her apartment. But the defendant says, yeah, it had a leak, but his contractor offered to do the repair, but the plaintiff is out for way more cash than she deserves. It's the case of the untidy bowl man.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, ma'am. So tell me how you find out that there's a leak in your apartment.
I arrived at my apartment on June 22nd after having been away for a week. And as I went down the stairs toward my bedrooms, I got to the bottom of the stairs and discovered that the stairs were soaked and wet.
Okay.
At this point, I looked up and I saw a slow but steady drip coming from the ceiling. And I also saw that the ceiling and the walls had buckled.
Oh, jeez. So it had been leaking while you were away, I guess.
I assume so.
This is a video of the leak, correct?
Yeah.
Let me check this bathroom over here. Can you get the bucket? This is some...
I see the buckling in the wall. I see the water like some peeling in the ceiling that obviously the water was coming out of. This is a picture. So this is what I was talking about before, and now you can see it, where clearly there are cracks in the ceiling, and that's where the water's coming from. Now, what's the first thing you do? You go upstairs to see what's going on?
Yes, so the first thing that I did, I went upstairs to his tenant's apartment.
Do you know him from before?
I don't.
Okay.
And I knocked at the door. No one was there. At this point, I contacted our board president. It was the weekend. It was kind of late.
So when do you finally get in touch with somebody?
So finally, I heard the tenant moving around.
How much later? Same day?
The next day. The next morning.
And so you go upstairs and you talk to the tenant?
No, he came. He was leaving the building. So when he left the building, I quickly went outside to let him know.
Okay. So you talk to him and you tell him, dude, there's something going wrong. Does he know about it or no?
Well, he didn't really answer yes or no. He acted as if he didn't know that there was a leak going on.
So do the two of you walk up to the apartment?
No, first we go into my apartment so that I can
you show him, and then do you go into his apartment?
Yes.
And what do we see in his apartment?
So if a tenant's toilet overflows to the unit below, is the tenant above responsible?
I don't believe so.
Because?
Because the water should have been contained in the floor above and shouldn't have leaked down to the floor below it.
Fair point. Fair point. By the way, I like your hat.
Thank you.
Really cool. Going inside the courtroom.
In his apartment, we see the half bathroom that has apparently been leaking for quite some time.
How do you know?
Because the floor was damaged because the tile had already started peeling up and the floorboard was exposed. And
did you take any pictures of that?
I didn't.
Okay, and and does he then say, yeah, this has been leaking?
Yeah, he says it's been leaking for quite some time. I've attempted on a couple of times to fix it. He was
Did he ever bring it up to his landlord's attention?
Not to my knowledge.
Did he ever bring it up to your attention?
Never.
Oh, wow, that's something you got to deal with him on.
He's a bit of a knucklehead.
Do you have a chit-chat with him?
He's difficult to get a hold of, yes.
Difficult to get a hold of? He gives you a rent check every month.
That's about it, yes.
Well, yeah, but if he's going to destroy your place, then that's a problem.
I don't know if he purposely destroyed it.
No, ignorance and neglect is just as destructive, though, right? Like, you need to make sure that you educate him on how it takes.
I asked him why did he try and attempt to fix it himself. He should have called me, and I would have sent the plumber there.
Right.
Well,
and what did he say?
Nothing.
Okay, but he knows now, right?
I hope so.
Yeah,
yes.
I do too,
yes.
for your sake. But anyway, so you do finally get a hold of him.
Yes.
And you do talk to him and tell him, listen, you got to pay for this. And you do say, yes, I will. So there's no question about liability here because you are responsible for the people you rent out to. You can go ahead and chase him for it, but that's between you and your tenant. The real debate here is how much the damages are, correct?
Correct.
How long did it take for his contractor to go in there?
More than 3 weeks.
Okay, because why? Because you were trying to have the contractor go in all at once and see both?
Well, Ms. Campbell contacted me. I then had to contact my tenant.
And it took you 3 weeks to get the tenant to pick a date to have the contractor go?
To have a day off where my contractor could go in and see and fix his apartment.
Okay, so when his contractor finally comes, you let the contractor in?
Yeah, so...
And had you already had your own contractor look at it?
Right. I had 3 different estimates from painters.
Okay.
And I chose the one at the medium level. He said just for the painting, it was $950.
Okay, so you then ask him, and so you tell him, I want that, and I want $99 for carpet cleaning.
For the carpet cleaning, and then after that, because I'm 7.5 months pregnant, I'm assuming that there's gonna be dust and debris all over. So after everything is done, I expected the location to be cleaned.
Oh, so you wanted him to pay for cleaning your whole apartment?
No, not the whole apartment, but at least the upstairs that I'm sure that it's an open space.
All right, so you asked him for how much?
So I asked him for $1,150.
Okay, total. Which would be another $100 for cleaning.
Yes.
And what did he say?
He told me that his contractor, after his contractor came, that the contractor could do the work for $500. He is not responsible for the carpet because
Why did you feel you would not be responsible for the carpet?
Well, I was water doesn't stain a carpet white, and my contractor gave me pictures of the carpet, and it looks like there's a white stain on a lot of the steps.
Let me see the pictures that your contractor gave you. It's toilet water. Nobody wants that in their.
Well, I don't think. Well, it certainly wouldn't stain it white then.
But I'm asking you, like, is it that unreasonable request when we know that toilet water was leaking?
It wasn't unreasonable, but
so what's a big deal over that $99? Oh no, it wasn't. It's because your guy was half the price of her.
Well, that was the big deal.
Yeah. Okay, what I'm seeing here, I don't know what that is, but it's not in the video. You notice that, right?
This is some.
That's my favorite part. You know, what I'm seeing here isn't what I'm seeing on this carpet. Does your carpet look like that? Does it have this white stuff?
No, actually, this is because of the lighting. So there's a window above the door and the light shines down the stairs. So this is the lighting. It's not anything because of the carpet.
Okay.
And by the time his contractor
I kind of buy that. She's saying it's the light and it's got the X of the window,
Right.
so I don't know. But in any event, so what happens here is you end up deciding to make an insurance claim.
I did. After communication with Mr. Weinstein stopped, I then...
How did it stop?
He stopped texting me and responding.
So you just kept texting him and he just blew you off?
Pretty much.
Okay. He ghosts?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think was going to happen?
I even sent him a letter, certified return
that's not
receipt.
true.
Okay.
I have an email that was sent to her that she never responded to.
Okay.
And
where did you send it?
To her email.
Show her that and tell me if that's your email. Did you get that email?
I did.
Okay. And you didn't respond to that?
I didn't respond to that.
Okay. So he didn't ghost. Maybe he stopped texting, but I'm in receipt of your letter. I take offense that my offer was trying to lowball you. My licensed and insured contractor would have completed the job to your satisfaction. All that's fine, and I understand. But you don't get to pick who she uses. You really don't. Blah, blah, blah. I have no problem with repairing your damaged wall to the way it was before. I do have a problem with you spending my money at your discretion. What ends up happening is, you know, you end up saying, no, I'm not playing ball with you. I'm not going to sit here and play back and forth. And so you make the insurance claim. And the insurance estimates the damage at how much? $1,900. $1,900. What was the actual cause of the leak? Did we ever find out?
I think it was a leaking water feed to the toilet.
That I presume that got repaired.
The whole bathroom was replaced and repaired, yes.
But you kept the tenant.
It's easier to change a bathroom than a tenant.
Yes. All right, so you have a $1,000 deductible.
I do.
And the insurance company sends you how much?
$846.83.
So if they sent you that check, I know you haven't cashed it, and you get $1,900 here, then you'd be essentially double paid for part of it.
It's if I win here, I don't intend to move forward with the insurance because I don't want my insurance premiums to increase.
Here's what's going to happen. I find that you are entitled to pick who you want. You are, because you didn't ask to get damage. The law just requires that I find that she is entitled to the reasonable costs. And I've got 4 estimates. Your guy was very low because he's doing your favor. He's probably your guy in a lot of stuff. And then I've got the other estimates. I'm going to go with the other estimates. So I'm going to find that it can be taken care of. And I don't think that it's unreasonable to ask for a cleaning when a new baby's coming into the house. I don't think it's unreasonable to ask for the carpet to be cleaned. I definitely don't think that's unreasonable. I'm going to find in your favor in the $1,150. And you're going to have to return that check to your insurance company. Because if you don't, it's insurance fraud.
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, your rates will go up. So it won't be worth doing that.
Right.
Okay? That is my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So the plaintiff prevails. Mr. Weinstein, you're going to have to cough up a little money for, but
Yes,
you
I
seem
will.
like a reasonable guy.
I am. I tried to settle it reasonably. I sent her an email with an offer. She never responded to that offer and sued me.
She didn't have to.
No, I
accept
guess
it.
she didn't.
As the judge says, that's right. It's her
Evidently,
prerogative.
justice was served. Yes.
All right. You've learned
All right.
something then.
Yes, I have.
Good enough. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay. Ms. Campbell, it's interesting. You're going to get the money to do this, And the insurance, you knew you'd have to send the insurance money back.
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
I intended to anyway.
So there's
if
no
I
problem.
won, no problem at all.
How long's this been now?
Since June.
And it hadn't been fixed yet?
Not yet.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to getting
I'll
it
bet
fixed
you are.
right away.
Yeah. Okay, well, good luck to you. All right.
Thank you.
Good luck. Hope you have a safe delivery. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Harvey?
You know, I mean, this is a truism. It doesn't matter what the case is. If you damage somebody else's property, you can't dictate where they get it repaired.